we're going to be talking about Hunter Schafer. Hunter Schafer is amazing. I love her. She is my queen. I have a standing invite, an open invite to Hunter Schafer to come on the broadcast anytime, any place. I will go to her. If she needs it, she's amazing. She has not replied to my DMs. It's fine. I'm not hurt by it. You know, she's probably too busy doing movies and also getting her feet scanned by Hideo Kojima. It's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's fine. I'm not disappointed that she has not replied to my DMs. She's probably very busy and also, you know, working on stuff. But like I said, open invitation to Hunter Schafer whenever she wants, anytime, any place, to come on the Hasanabi broadcast. All right. I'm washed. I'm so washed, dude. Yeah, she didn't see it, and I'm not hurt by it. I think it's normal. It's cool. I like that she has not replied to my DMs. I think it's okay. It's cool, actually. Anyway, let's continue. So, as we talked about before, the Trump administration did a bunch of insane things, and one of the first executive actions they took was to, for no real reason whatsoever, declare that there are only two genders, and also you have to, you know, forcibly have your gender be your gender assigned to you at birth. And for that reason, of course, many trans people who had to go and get new passports in this new administration literally got the wrong sex on their passports. Hunter Schafer is a prominent and very famous example of that. Here she is talking about her experiences. Let's take a look.
Hello, internet. I don't really post much these days, but I had a bit of a harsh reality check today and felt like it's important to share with whoever is listening. So I'm sure most of us remember on, I think, the first day of Trump's presidency, he signed an executive order to declare only two genders recognized by the state, male and female, assigned at birth. And as a result of this, which I wrote down because I want to get it right,
Yeah, for the record, if you're wondering, what's the point of all this? It's cruelty. Literally nothing else. It's such a hollow, such a shallow, pointlessly, unnecessarily cruel thing to do. And also, not only is it cruel, but it's also obviously unproductive. It's unproductive and chaotic because gender, at the end of the day, no matter how much Republicans or dumbasses online claim is directly associated with your sex, it's biology, it is a social construct. It is what you wear, it is how you present yourself, it is how you carry yourself. Gender is performative. It is a performance. Anyway, let's take a look.
The Bureau of Consular Affairs has frozen passport applications requesting a gender marker change or renewals or new applications with a gender marker differing from an applicant's gender assigned at birth. So my initial reaction to this, because our president, is a lot of talk, was I'll believe it when I see it. And today, I saw it on my new passport.
This is such a fucking insane thing to do. Okay? What absolute insanity. Hunter Schafer's from New Jersey, and she still hasn't been on the broadcast. We have touched the same soil, Hunter. Okay? What more? What more has to happen here? Okay? That's what it says on my passport too. You know, mine says New Jersey, USA as well. Okay? I'm just saying. That's what it says on mine as well. Hello? It's we align a lot on many issues, and I think it would be great and very productive if you came on the broadcast. That's all I'm saying, okay? That's all I'm saying, okay? Lamau, did you just cover this as a way to publicly beg her to come on stream? No, that's just me making jokes, chatter. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I've already talked about this at the beginning when the executive order came in. But obviously, when a famous celebrity is experiencing, when a beloved famous celebrity is also experiencing the same issues that the average trans chatters in my community are experiencing, don't you think that it's really good to hyper focus on it so that, more people are aware of it? Anyway, Hunter, if you're watching, we actually are a very funny community. We make jokes all the time. This is not the normal vibes of the community, okay? The one chatter does not reflect the broader. It's a very fun community. We love jokes. Unless you hate jokes, in which case we fucking hate jokes. We've never joked ever before. We've never even thought about joking. But otherwise, you know, very, very fun ha-has are to be had here. So anyway, let's continue.
Male. So now to specify, my gender markers were first changed in my teens when I first got my driver's license, and then passports following. All have been female since then. Hasn't really been a problem. However, last year when I was filming in Barcelona, our car got broken into and my bag got stolen, and inside of that was my passport, which was supposed to last me up until my 30s. So I got an emergency passport, which was very simple at the time. It's basically just a copy of my old passport, but temporary and only supposed to be used within the year. So as soon as I got back to the States, I had to get this fixed and get it replaced with a real proper passport, which I went to.
I'm confused. While perverse enough, I thought the executive order simply said that there were two genders, not that someone who was once one sex and has become another cannot stay that gender. Yeah, of course. Look, anytime someone says anything about gender in the opposite direction as the wokes, they just mean like they want to shit on trans people. Just like when people talk about fairness in sports, they don't actually care about fairness in women's sports. I've tried to explain this to people over and over again. Some people might genuinely think this conversation is actually about fairness in sports. Like they might have actually been lost in the sauce. There are plenty of people like that. Okay, plenty of people think on the one hand, trans people are unfairly discriminated against, and secondly, they should be nowhere near any athletic endeavor. Okay, that is real. That's a real person. That is the average American person, the median position. Okay. And that is precisely what's going on here as well. They'll say, oh, only two genders. Come on, that makes sense. And then they'll turn around and go, also, if you are a trans woman, you're going to have male on your passport. If you are a trans man, you're going to have female on your passport. Doesn't make sense. All of the legislation or executive actions that push for this kind of thing are not actually done on the real boundaries that they're talking about. Anyway, let's continue.
The Federal Passport Agency today in LA and did. I've had to do this one time before. No part of the process was different. I filled everything out just like I normally would. I put female, and when it was picked up today and I opened it up, they had changed the marker to male. And I'm not making this post to fearmonger or to create like drama or receive consolation. I don't need it, but I do think it's worth posting to sort of note the reality of the situation and that it is actually happening. And I was shocked. Because I don't know. I just didn't think it was actually going to happen. And like, I want to acknowledge my privilege, like not only as a like famous or like celebrity trans woman who is white and thin and
also, yes, she is trans. She's a trans woman. She's a very famous trans actress. For the record, like, I think the point is, at least from where I'm standing, like if it happens to her, which of course it was going to happen to her, because she is trans at the end of the day, it can have, like, think about how much harder it is for the average trans person who also doesn't have the same finances that she has, or didn't have understanding parents early on that were obviously super woke. And it is infinitely harder for everybody else. That's why I think it's important for public figures like this to actively come out and speak on their experiences.
I can adhere to like contemporary beauty standards and I can participate in all of that. And I pass, and it still happened.
Yes, they put an M on her passport. It's unnecessarily complicated. There is literally no reason to do this. There are Like, whenever I think about any sort of government decision, the good is supposed to outweigh the bad, right? The good is supposed to outweigh the bad. Like, that's how it's supposed to work, because any matter of rules and restrictions and regulations actually end up restricting to a certain degree people's freedoms, but it's appropriate and understandable when it is for the greater good. That is at the heart of how we legislate. That is at the heart of why we make certain decisions. And you're supposed to democratically vote on the government to make these kinds of decisions and yada, yada, yada. But this kind of action is not even remotely good. Like, what are the benefits? What are the benefits other than if you're a transphobic person, you're like, hell yeah, we're owning them. Hell yeah, we're dominating them. You know what I mean? I guess that's it. That's the only thing that comes out of it, right? And there are many issues, many complications that arise when you make these kinds of decisions. Like, when she travels now, if she goes to any other country, she's at the mercy of the border guards there. Like, they might actually give her issues, right? Because of the sex marker on her passport. Everywhere that she has to use her passport, she is going to run into issues. Considering that trans people are a tiny margin of the population overall, consistently hyper-focusing on them and trying to dominate them in this way unironically ends up harming cis people, because there's just simply a lot more cis people than there are trans people. And because gender in and of itself is simply an expression, and that no one really fits the rigid binaries that people claim it exists out there, let people exist. You know, give them room to breathe. If it doesn't harm you, why do you care? What is your problem?